Game Day continues with Aggie Call. Your chance to talk about today's game. Sponsored by Alpine Home Medical, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Les Olson Company, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, My Mattress, Elements Restaurant, Cache Valley Bank, Castelite, Daryl's Appliance, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Cache Valley Ear, Nose and Throat, White Pine Funeral Home, S.E. Needham Jewelers, and LSS Insurance. KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis and John Russell.
A 60-0 second half run put this game away for the Utah State Aggies at home against UNLV. Only time they'll play the Rebels this year unless they face in the tournament. And Utah State with the win 90-75. They outscore the Rebels 50 to 37 in the second half. And again, the Rebels did get a few things at the end of the game. I mean, Utah State had them done after a while after that big long run. And boy, did the passing of the Aggies, John Russell, come to play. That offense in that period of time was spectacular.
Really, the entire second half, they were just so good. But as you mentioned, that stretch, they were just top-notch. Things were clicking. They were playing well. The fans, I think a lot of folks forgot it was an early start, but they filled in nicely. They were loud and really kept the Aggies going. Great ball game.
What a game for Justin Bean. What a game for Stephen Ashworth. Again, having to cover Bryce Hamilton like he did. And Hamilton still scored 33. But Ashworth made it as hard for him to score 33 as anybody could.
Oh, without it, that was the hardest earned 33. But, Ashworth was just phenomenal. Gave up height, size, everything, but still just was dominant defensively.
And Brandon Horvath continues on a real run, and again, there were some other good moments in there. Let's turn to Jalen Moore. Again, Jalen, we thought this could be a closer one, and it sure looked like it was going to be, and then it kind of stopped as, again, we went to a media timeout, and the Aggies had just had Bairstow back in for a fadeaway shot. It's 56-53. That was the start of the 16-0 run, and again, you come back after the timeout. Bairstow from Bean, Ashworth from Ryland, Bean from Ashworth. Horvath makes 2 free throws, and then Ashworth with the reverse layup, and then we come back out of another timeout, and Bean makes 1 out of 2 free throws. The passing and the offense was just dicing up UNLV at that time.
Yeah, it was a close game. UNLV played us tight for about first half and half of the second half, but our team turned it on. They were beating us in rebounding in the first half. We ended up out-rebounding them by 4. We look good. Our offense is on point. Horvath looks really good. His passing is on point right now. He has another 17, 9, and 5 game. Bean goes for 32 and 10. Our starters look really good this game. We didn't get a ton of bench production, but the way that our starters were playing, they came in and gave us good hard minutes from the bench. That's what we needed this game because our starters were playing at such a high level and our offense was flowing. You look at the assist to turnover ratio. You go 22 assists and only 7 turnovers. You're going to win most games with stats like that, and shoot 45% from 3 and 64 from the field. We look really good. I'm telling you, when we're shooting efficiently from 3, our team looks so much better because it opens up all of our finishing and our cuts to the rim and our free throws and stuff like that. Easier way to score.
Justin Bean's never had a three-point shooting game like he did. I mean, he had made 5 against Portland State, but he made 5 of 7 in this game. Unbelievable from range. He did everything in this game right. He was just tremendous in this game to lead the Aggies in that department. I mean, to think that he almost outscored Hamilton. 32-33. He did his best for that. But you're talking about the bench. In the first half, 8 had played and everybody had scored. So when those bench guys did come in, they, like you said, they did give us the good moments. But again, this team's handling the basketball. It's not fouling a lot the other side, especially when the game's on the line. And then now we get our best shooting game of the year again, Jalen, after we had the best shooting game of the year the other night against San Jose State.
Yeah, just our team's playing with swagger and confidence. Guys are, they look good. We look like the Utah State of earlier this season. We went on a little bit of a slump there where we just couldn't figure things out. We were playing bad in conference, but now we go above 500, 6-5, 5-game win streak. 4-game win streak. We look good, or 5-game win streak.
5 now.
We started out 1-5, 6-5 now, and that's what we needed to do. Going into Wyoming where. Just a super hard place to play. They're playing really well, but we're playing at one of the highest levels in the conference right now too. So our team looks good, and like you said, Hamilton had 33, Bean had 32, but you look at UNLV in the game against Colorado State where he had 45, and they gave up 35 to Stevens. So they hurt you offensively, but their defense is slacking a little bit as well too, and they kind of let some other team star players go off on them too, and Bean took advantage of that and ended up having a big game.
Yeah, Bean was huge. I'll tell you what, that was like a good old-fashioned heavyweight fight. It seemed like Hamilton and Bean back and forth, but I love this little step-back three Bean hit at the end of the game. That was phenomenal. But, Jalen, in my mind, you've got to tip your hat to Stephen Ashworth. Great game offensively. He played really well. But the fact that he played so well guarding Hamilton, a guy bigger, taller, stronger than him, but he just dominated. Talk about Ashworth's performance.
Yeah, he looks good. Like we said, ever since he's been put into the starting lineup, his play has elevated. He looks good. You go 14 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, and most of that's offensively. And then you flip the script, and more than half the game he's probably on Hamilton. And like you guys said, yeah, Hamilton still had 33, but like we said, if he's going to score over 30, you got to make him earn it. And he makes tough shots. That's why he scores so many points, and he's been on a good run right now. But that's the best you could do. He played great defense on him, made him have to hit contested twos, make post moves, make step back threes. He really didn't get a bunch of uncontested looks, and you have to credit Stephen Ashworth with that and making him have to earn it. And so the way that Ashworth has been playing defense lately, and like we say, Wyoming coming in, we're going to have to do a job on Ike and Maldonado, but our defenses look so good lately that I like the way that in the direction that we're going, and I won't be surprised if Ashworth guards Maldonado a little bit that game. So just the way that he's his toughness and the way that he's been making guys have to earn their points, he's been great offensively and defensively.
Well, if I were the other teams, that's the last guy I want to see on me. The way Ashworth's playing, it's unbelievable. Hey, in the second half, we talked about being a tight game. You and Al in your pregame said it's probably going to be a tight game. I think UNLV got it down to 1 or 2 there early in the second half.
It's 54-53 when the 17-0 started. Yeah. When it started on the run.
But there was a stretch. We got a little 3 happy there. Missed 3 in a row. Did Coach do anything different, or do you think the team just realized, wait, this is not how we got the lead? Let's get back to what we were doing.
Yeah, I don't think they did anything differently. It's just we missed some shots, we missed some threes. And I think our team's just so efficient where when we're driving, kicking, and shooting open threes that way, or we're driving, kicking, our guys are really good that when someone drives, we find the cutters. And then we kind of got back to that and got some open looks on back cuts. They lost Stephen Ashworth behind the defense a couple times. Like, our guys are really good at just finding the open area. And we have really got, 1 through 5 are really good at finding each other. They play well as a team, and I think we just kind of got back to that. And then as we started cutting and getting fouled and going to the free throw line, finishing around the rim, that therefore then opened up the threes again for our team. And that's when we started making those threes uncontested and stuff like that.
And boy, Brandon Horvath, again, another really, really big, 17, 9, and 5. I mean, he just continues to fill up the stat sheet the last little while for him, and he was really comfortable. Now, again, you just talked about EK. Can we handle a great big back to the basket, back and in guy? UNLV didn't have it. Of course, San Jose didn't have it. So can we handle that? This is going to be a different assignment on Tuesday night when you start to think about that, Jalen.
Yeah, it's going to be very different. We tried to stick Trevin on him a lot in the first game. You look at a game like this, next game, and you're going to have to put – he's strong. He's really strong around the rim. You might have to put a guy like Bean or Idle Rock on him. Horvath, I think Horvath is probably going to be on him a little bit because of his length. But I think Bean's going to be the best bet that we have of going up against him. It's just hard because you really don't want Bean to get in foul trouble, but you kind of have to chance it because EK's averaging over 20 points a game as well, playing really well. Other guy, Maldonado's been playing at a real high level right now, and he's tough too. At home, I was watching him against Colorado State, Boise State. The thing that makes him hard is he's a point guard, handles the ball a lot, but he plays in the post. He backs in his guys a lot. He has really good footwork in the post. And so, you look at it, you're like, hey, I want to put Ryland and Stephen Ashworth on him, but if he's going to be pounding in the post that much, he's the guy where you might have to put a Shogla or a Barstow on him. and they're going to have to test their defensive skills on a guy like Maldonado.
And remember, he has 3 more inches than Hamilton does. I think he's listed about 6'7", maybe, Maldonado is. So, okay, Jalen, let's check your keys to the game as the Aggies win at 90-75 over UNLV. Another 15 or plus, another double-digit win in this 5-game win streak. Another great shooting game. Second half, we held UNLV to 46 after 50 first half, and we shot 68% in the second half, 59% first half, so 64 for the game. Let's check those keys brought to you by Les Olson Company. You get a free network assessment to take care of risks when it comes to your IT network security in your business. LesOlson.com's got the details. I mean, we guarded Hamilton about as well as we could, and he still got 33 points. I mean, he did at times almost, you felt like, take over the game, but when we had the big lead, you knew they went to him, and all of a sudden he missed there a couple of shots right when they had maybe a chance with about the 4 or 5 minute mark of the game. And so we did about the good job we could there, Jalen.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. Like you said, as long as if he's going to score 30 or something like that, you got to make him earn it. It can't be an easy 30. It was a hard 33 that he had to earn. Like we said, tip your hat off to Ashworth. And there were some situations, like we were saying before the game, it's great defense, just better offense. You got to live with those plays. If the offensive guy makes a great play, live with it. Keep playing the same defense you're doing, and that's what we did the whole game. He got his 33, but hey, at the end of the day, we get a 15-point win.
And then handle the athleticism. We ended up rebounding. We were the aggressors in the game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They lived on threes to kind of hang in the game, and we only turned it over. You said only turned it over 7 times, so I think your keys are pretty good in this game.
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job against teams like this that are athletic. Like you said, if you out-rebound them, you're in a good spot. Keep them off the boards. Don't let them get easy transition points. And the biggest thing, like I said, don't give them live ball turnovers. When you only have 7 turnovers against a team like UNLV, you're doing great. And they didn't have a chance to capitalize on a lot of those. So our assist to turnover ratio is really good, and we keep that kind of stuff up like that, we're going to win a lot of games.
So, again, the first time around, it was EK with 23, Maldonado with 21, and they still made only 6 threes. They've made more threes than that than normal, as Wyoming edged us by 71-69 on the EK play from the top of the key at the end of the game. That'll be Tuesday night. Jalen, we'll see you at 6 o'clock Tuesday night, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Jalen Moore, for joining with us. John Russell and I will continue. Text line will be available. You can let us hear what you have to say about this game, but we'd love to have you call in. 753-5868, 753-5868. The Aggies, again, pass UNLV in the standings. They're now 6th place in the conference standings. Again, still got to, have some other teams lose a few games ahead of them if they can keep on this win streak. And again, like we said, you couldn't drop this game. Jalen and I said it before the game. When you're going into Wyoming, then you get the Nevada game, but then you got Boise State, San Diego State on the road. This next stretch of games is going to be really tough, and hopefully we can just keep it on going. Aggies win by 90-75. Game day on KVNU continues.
It's engagement season. Time to find the perfect ring. S.E. Needham Jewelers is known for beautifully cut diamonds at excellent prices. Guys, the sparkle is what matters most in the diamond you give your sweetheart. Our diamonds stand apart from those of other stores. Come view our diamonds under magnification. Select a diamond that fits your budget and then have it mounted in a ring that she'll love. Remember, you get S.E. Needham quality at internet pricing. Open Monday through Saturday 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
Hi, this is James Stevens with White Pine Funeral Services. At White Pine, we value compassion, integrity, and service. We are committed to serving you and treating your family as our family. We will be here when you need us most, to listen, to help, and to provide exactly what your circumstances require. At White Pine, we promise to dedicate our time and attention to you and your family. We invite you to come by and meet us. We're confident you'll feel a difference.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. My wife and I were laughing the other day because she read an article about things not to buy online. The first thing was prom dresses. Dresses advertised versus dresses delivered. Needless to say, what people thought they were getting is not what they got. It's much the same with mattresses. Almost always, buying a mattress online ends in buyers being let down. At My Mattress, we try to always exceed expectations. Lower prices than online, and better beds. Only at My Mattress.
Hi, this is Rusty Allen with LSS Insurance. I get asked all the time, do I have to sign up for Medicare? Check out our website, lssins.com, or call 752-9493. Medicare doesn't have to be confusing. We have the answers to all your questions and will help each step of the way. With decades of experience, we'll guide you through each step. There is no cost to work with LSS Insurance. We make Medicare easy. Call 752-9493.
KVNU Game Day continues with Aggie Call. Your chance to talk about today's game. Call 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
And the Gill Mortgage text line available from the Fan, and of course the Sports Talk Show for Full Court Press Afternoons is at 435-339-0321. If you'd like to comment on the game, we'd love to have you there. We'd love to have you make phone calls. Jake Ellis will get with the players and coaches after an exciting Aggie win, 90-75. Again, like you said, John, the goal this week was 3-0.
3-0.
Got 3-0. And the goal now is always 1-0.
1-0.
It started in football. It's going to continue in basketball. And where you're at right now, it's got to happen for this Aggie basketball team to keep going.
You know, you had made the comment before we stepped aside for a second there. The Aggies are now bumped up into 6th. And it's easy to get fixated and go, oh, we're in 6th place. We have so far to go. No, one game at a time. You win one at a time, and we've got a huge one coming up here just in a couple of days.
Because you got a lot of these teams up at top now. Boise and Wyoming are done against each other. San Diego State and Colorado State are done against each other. But I think we still got, I think we might still have another Wyoming-Colorado State game. We still might have another Boise-Colorado State. There's still some matchups that need to happen in there. Fresno, I know, already started with Boise, and I think they played Wyoming once. They only have 3 losses, too. I kind of think, to be honest right now, Boise State, Wyoming, Colorado State, and Fresno State might be better overall teams playing than San Diego State.
Yeah.
And most are still putting San Diego State in the tournament right now, but they dropped that game. What a comeback by them last night. To be honest, they're down 20 in the second half at Colorado, and without offense. And they all of a sudden finally found a way in the last 2 minutes of the game to get a bunch of baskets and actually take the lead before Roddy, again, made that shot with, about 8-9 seconds to go.
Well, that's the thing with San Diego State. You know you're in a dogfight, and you know that points are going to come at a premium. But they did what they needed to. But, it's a great conference, and I just worry about them kind of cannibalizing one another and other people looking outside. If you're in the SEC or the Pac-12 or, the Big Ten, they're going to be, those teams, they're all quality teams. They're going to beat each other up. You got to look at that from the Mountain West. We have a lot of high-quality teams.
Well, we got 6 teams in the top 50 or 60. The Aggies were 48 in the net going into today, so they'll, again, probably stay about the same. UNLV's a little further back. But the thing is, already with the 5 losses, that's the thing. How many of those teams are going to get to where you have a chance to be 5th place and not play the first day of the tournament?
Right.
And also, who knows? I mean, if you're 6th, you have to play the first day against the last team. So maybe you get a little bit of breather. Boise only beat San Jose today, 76-60.
Right.
In their game up there.
Yeah. Well, you look at, just look at Wyoming, what we're in for there. And, good basketball team. I don't want to diminish who they are and what they do, but they very easily could flip-flop with the Ag, could have flip-flopped. They had a lot of close games. They only beat Air Force by 2. They had a couple of 3-point games early. They won
the Colorado State game in overtime.
Yep. And Utah State, some of those close games they get the win. All of a sudden now we're talking about Utah State being in 2nd or 3rd in the conference. It's just great ball, but the key is the Aggies seem to, and we go back to what Coach said, we're in a season within a season. They had their bad season earlier. They can continue on the pace they're at. They're going to get a good season.
And then hopefully you can get you won't get into a close game at the wire and think, I've been here before, we haven't done it. Have that out of your system, because you can't rely on double-digit wins when you play at these places we're going to play the next 2 weeks.
No, and that's such a great point. As well as the Aggies are playing, which they are playing phenomenally well, to get wins like they have against UNLV, against Air Force, and against San
Diego State, and against Nevada, and against,
those are not the norm. So good wins.
Okay, you said the text line's got a few things.
Yeah, I got a couple comments.
339-0321 is our phone number.
Yeah, just got a couple. So, and they both came from 9315. So the rest of you,
you need to get going.
You need to get moving here. I think if we can play like we are right now, Wyoming will have a hard time beating us, no doubt. But it's going to be crazy there.
Their fans have really showed back up. They're really gone. That's great.
Tough.
And again, it's great. And Jeff Linder is a heck of a coach, and I knew he'd do a great job up there.
And that's what you want. You want to go into these, you know the guys are going to be fired up for it. Other comment by 9315, is Hamilton a guy that one can keep under 25 in a game? I think the only one person that can limit Hamilton is Hamilton.
Yeah. If he's not ready, just not wanting to play, his team gets down, and then he maybe kind of dogs it a little bit and all. It helped a little bit to get him off the floor a little in the first half with the 2 fouls.
With a couple fouls.
And all that.
And I thought
then they came back with those threes at the end of the half to get right back in the game when you kind of felt like we were going to maybe get a little bit of a break towards the half.
But they did. They struggled mightily without him on the court. He's their go-to guy, and you could see it, and in a way it was actually good for the Aggies. In the second half, when they got down big, he kind of, had that feeling, all right, I'm the one that's got to do this, and probably took a couple of shots that weren't the best shots.
They took him out early in the second half just for a little stretch. That's where we got on the run. Then he came right back and scored some to get it right back to that 1-point game that we were talking about. But the Aggies never trailed in the second half of this game. 4 ties, 4 lead changes first half. Never trailed, win at 90-75. More from you at the text line, 339-0321, or you can call us, 753-KVNU, and we hope to hear from players and coaches at the Spectrum shortly. This is Game Day on KVNU.
Don't know about you, but I adore my dog Winston. However, I don't adore the occasional accident. This is Dal with ChemDry of Northern Utah. With ChemDry's specially formulated pet urine removal treatment, we'll help take care of those unsightly pet stains and odors. Even severely damaged carpets can be saved with ChemDry's revolutionary methods. Pets are part of the family too, so until we can learn to potty train them, calling us is the next best option. ChemDry of Northern Utah's pet urine removal treatment.
ChemDry of Northern Utah. ChemDry of Northern Utah. 435-752-6100.
Cache Valley Bank's newest branch is now open in Preston. I'm Lance Zollinger, and I'm excited to announce Cache Valley Bank is now open inside Stokes Marketplace. If you're an existing customer, you'll love the convenience. If you're not a customer, we'd love to have you open a new account with us, or even talk with us about a loan for your farm or business. Cache Valley Bank, a community bank where decisions are still made locally, now open in Preston. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Stephen, stop dragging your feet. Don't you give me that look. You've had a bad attitude all day. Now, look, I know you'd rather be with your friends right now, but this has to be done, and either you start cooperating or I'm going to start taking things away from you. And I think you know what that means, don't you, Stephen?
Yes, honey, I do.
All right.
Okay.
Watch it.
Bigger isn't always better. At Cast-A-Lite, you'll choose from a huge selection of pavers and receive help from experts. You'll see just how easy it is to do it yourself. For brick, block, rock, paver, and tile, go where the pros go. Online at castalite.com.
West Point Dairy Products at Hiram is hiring. West Point Dairy Products has been manufacturing high-quality butter for over 25 years in Cache Valley. They're currently expanding and want you on their growing team. West Point Dairy Products offers competitive wages for entry-level positions starting at $18 per hour, full benefit packages, double time on Sundays, a $2,000 sign-on bonus, and tremendous opportunities for growth. For immediate consideration, call Express Employment Professionals at 435-213-9595.
KVNU Game Day continues with Aggie Call. Your chance to talk about today's game. Call 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
Hey, in this conference, don't sleep on New Mexico either. They've started off 16-2 over Air Force in the game over at Air Force as they kind of battle a couple teams towards the bottom of the league. Of course, the Aggies just went past Air Force with a game earlier. Air Force only has 6 defeats. Nevada now with 6 defeats, so they and Air Force are tied. Nevada's already beaten Air Force at Air Force this year, but New Mexico 1-8. But they've had some close losses along their way where they've got to where their 1-8 is, and they're off to a great start.
Yeah, they really are. But that's impressive. Air Force has played well, but a good game, a chance for New Mexico to get a little momentum. Yeah. 753
KVNU. James always joins with us after the game. What did you think today, James? And what are you looking at?
Hey, Al. Hey, John. That was a lot of fun today. Wanted to just talk about a few points and stop me if I get long-winded, but I really like the aggressiveness. They were going to the rim a lot tonight. I like that. Tough defense, especially, you talked about it in the pregame, Al. You talked about throwing players at Hamilton, right? And, Idle Rock was there, but Ashworth, I just was very impressed with him tonight. I know he got a lot of points, Hamilton did, but I thought Ashworth really played him tough. And that's hard to do, right? You're playing tough defense, but yet on the offensive end, Ashworth still had his legs and was making some great shots. So I really was impressed with him tonight. Obviously, Bean just getting the double-double, just had a great night. And then one of my favorite plays tonight was Bairstow there at the first half, right? He went hard to the basket, and it was hard to see from where I was sitting, but it looked like he was using both hands. He got fouled, the ball went in, and he got that three-point play. 4 players in double figures tonight. I just thought it was just a fun game. There at the end of the first half, you were thinking, okay, this is going to be a dogfight. It's going to go down to the end of the game with Hamilton having the ball and what's going to happen. But they came out strong and really put those guys away. So a lot of fun tonight, guys. I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate your comments, James. Anything else you wanted to say?
No,
okay.
Just I appreciate you guys letting me on the phone and talk.
I would love to have you. We'd love to have you, and more people need to join with James. Again, thanks, James. And he's talking about the play by Bairstow in the first half. He actually went up right-handed, switched to left-hand, and almost got it back to the right as he got just enough to get it in over the rim for that, and then the basket, the free throw after that.
Yeah, about 5 minutes, and it was a big play, and that was really where I think the fans really started to get into it, and they were great in the second half, but Bairstow gives us, he gives us those little extra special plays that you need every once in a while.
We might need him and Shulga defensively on Maldonado because they're a little bigger, a little longer arm guys than Ashworth and Jones, maybe.
I think what I love about this, and James kind of talked about it, you had 4 players in double figures, but I think what I like is just this team's really settled into a groove. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what their expectations are. You know what you're going to get out of Bean and Horvath. Ashworth's really done a good job, but Bairstow, this stat kind of surprises me. He took 8 shots. I didn't think he took that many.
He was very efficient.
And he was very efficient.
He's the one guy who can back in, make his own shot, and do some things. And again, so he was good. I thought Shulga was still good in what he did, and Rylan Jones was good in what he did in this game, playing the 2 guards there. In fact, and to be honest, when Idle Rock was in there, he did a decent job too. He made some baskets and made some plays and was in there defensively, got a board or 2. So
everybody was pretty solid. I felt bad for Dorius. He got 3 fouls, and 2 of them were. One of them, the block shot was a bad call. His first foul was ticky-tacky, but that's going to happen. We're going to need him against EK especially, and to be able to step up. But these guys have really seemed to have settled into their groove. I was very critical during the losing streak as to people didn't know what they were doing, but tonight you really saw everybody come together.
LSS Insurance, one of our sponsors. Remember, they handle all of your insurance needs. Really, if you're feeling overwhelmed with Medicare rules and regulations, they can help you and walk you through all the options. LSS Insurance brings you postgame, and Jake Ellis and the media just talked a minute ago to Justin Bean on his close to career night. He had 33 against Penn, 32 in this game tonight.
I'm really proud of the effort from our guys, everyone that got in and contributed. Thought did a really good job. Again, UNLV is a very talented team offensively, and we knew it was going to be a battle. So just felt like we were just trading baskets for a while there in the first half, especially. Thought the guys that guarded Hamilton did as well as they could. He was hitting some tough ones, so he's a really great player, obviously, in this conference. So a lot of respect for him, but I thought we did a good job just trying to contain him and make him as uncomfortable as possible, and I thought he hit some tough ones. But, just really proud of our guys for how we competed and got some stops there when we needed to.
Questions? Justin, speaking of Hamilton, obviously, dude is stud. Coming into this game, it's kind of expected you had to go toe-to-toe with him, and you did that. What was kind of your mentality entering tonight?
Yeah, I knew I had to be really aggressive offensively for sure because he's, like I said, he can put the ball in the hole, and so I just had to have that confidence in myself and knowing that if I have an open look, then I'm going to take it. And thankfully, got some to go down. It was a lot different feel than the last game for me in the first half. And when you see a few go in, the basket gets bigger. So that's what it felt like. And my teammates obviously did a great job, just giving me the ball, finding me open looks, and thought they made a lot of plays as well. Sean, for one, just using his physicality and hitting some tough jumpers and just doing all that. So
a lot of threes too today.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. We got another 10-piece. Yep, for the group. So that's awesome. Yeah. I had 5 of them. It was again just a good rhythm for me. Just trusting in the shot and what I've done all season. So.
I hope your dad was here for that then?
He did, yeah. My dad actually flew in today, so he just flew in. He was having some FOMO since my mom's been up here for the whole week, so he just decided to come out, and turned out he was good luck. But don't tell him that; he'll get a big head. So.
Justin, you got up by 9 there early in the second half, and then it got away from you and got down to 1. It seemed like everyone was taking a quick 3, and then you kind of got back to passing and getting some good looks down low, and that kind of changed the game. 16-0 run.
It did, yeah. Again, Coach Odom told us to not just settle for 3s. Obviously, we had a lot of good looks, but again, we just were really aggressive, and thought Sean was huge in that, and Brandon, and just being really physical and getting some buckets in the paint. And so when we were able to do that, then the floodgates opened from the perimeter as well. So.
Justin, that's something that Coach Odom talks about is you got to score, but then you also got to get a stop in the end. And for that stretch, that last from 10 to 7 minutes left in the second half, you guys did that as good as you have all season. Do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, yeah. It's again we've proven that we can do that, and at times when we don't get stops, it's sometimes not pretty on the offensive end. So we definitely feed into that. Our offense feeds off of our defense. So whenever we can get stops like that are critical and just right in a row, it definitely proves to help us offensively and give us that confidence. So we know we can score, but we got to be able to guard the teams in this league to be able to win. So.
And again, Justin Bean from up in the Spectrum. Thank you, Jack Ellis, and appreciate the media asking him questions. It'll be interesting. He doesn't like to. He can't dwell on where he's at in things until afterwards. Mm-hmm. He passed Spencer Nelson tonight on the scoring charts, but he also passed, again on the scoring charts, Shaler Halleman and Mike Santos. Justin Bean, Aggie fans, is now your number 19 all-time leading scorer and number 4 all-time leading rebounder. And number 1 in playing hard in a game. Nobody can play harder. I mean, he's tied maybe for first with some guys, but nobody's ever played better or harder.
Look, Al, we got to face it. All the ladies love Justin. All the guys have man crushes on him. We all want to be like him. The guy is the epitome of what you want. Every coach in the country would take Justin Bean right now. Every coach. There's not one that I think
if they took just a little look at this game tonight, or any game.
But we look at the numbers. Another double-double, 32 and 10. 5 for 7 from beyond the arc. I mean, that's crazy. He ends up with 3 assists, only 1 turnover. Solid game, but there's a couple of things that we miss. He forced a turnover there in the first half, right at the end of the first half. Mm-hmm. They were going to take a 3-pointer. He came out hard on him and made him force that. And then, he's always making the right play, which makes these numbers so good.
And he's got the pass in him. He and Horvath's pass to him there at the end of the game, when it looked like Horvath going to the key was either going to shoot or go outside with the pass, and somehow he got it.
We both looked at each other like, how'd that happen? But, another thing, in making the right play, hats off to Stephen Ashworth, and we'll talk about him a little bit more later. But there was one play in the second half where he had a breakaway, and you thought he was going to take it to the basket, and he kind of peeled out. And I think a lot of people
coming down the key.
Exactly, and he gets the bucket.
Tremendous stuff. Chem Drive, Northern Utah. Remember, they will, with their green certified solutions, hot carbonating extraction cleaning method, deliver the deeper, longer lasting clean for your carpets, keeping your home clean, safe, and healthy. Again, it is Chem Drive, Northern Utah, 752-6100 that brings you 90 to 75. The Aggies over the Rebels. We've still got Coach Odom. We've got you. You can join with us at 753-KVNU, or the text line is 339-0321. If you're in line for custard, why not go over and get a bean burrito at Taco Time?
There you go.
And then you can go back later. Okay.
Get your ice cream then.
It's game day on KVNU.
This is Dave Simmons for Les Olson Company. Imagine the other team has an ace in their starting lineup. He's fast, relentless, and his field goal percentage is 73%. What's your team's defensive strategy against a player like that? Well, that player is ransomware, and in 2020, 73% of ransomware attackers succeeded in holding their victims' data hostage. Don't take risks. Take action with the Les Olson Security Suite. Get your free network assessment at lesolson.com.
Cache Valley is absolutely beautiful. It's always fun to be outdoors. And now is the time to let the allergy clinic inside the Cache Valley Hospital help with venom testing for spring and summer. The allergy clinic offers testing and treatment to life-threatening stings from honeybees, yellow jackets, white-faced hornets, yellow hornets, and wasps. Independent physicians Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette offer Cache Valley a full-time allergy clinic in 2 locations, Providence and inside the Cache Valley Hospital. The allergy clinic accepts most insurances, including SelectMed. Call the allergy clinic at 753-7880, 753-7880.
We're talking with Jeff at Daryl's Appliance. Why does Northern Utah choose Daryl's when they need to repair their appliances?
Our customers trust us to get the job done right. We have been repairing appliances for over 52 years. We also have our Under One Roof loyalty program where we discount the trip charge when you decide to buy new instead of the repair. Plus, our service calls and parts are guaranteed. Daryl's west on Airport Road, open till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 5 on Saturdays.
Cold weather is here. Let the gold medal winner in the Best of Northern Utah's fireplace category help you update your home with Heat and Glow's full line of gas or wood-burning products. Building a new home? Let the professionals at Advanced Fireplace and Stove design and install your fireplace. From traditional to modern, Heat and Glow has something for every design and every budget. Install a product that will allow your family to make memories for years to come. Stop by at their showroom or visit them at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
KVNU Game Day continues with Aggie Call. More analysis about today's game and your chance to talk about it. Call 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
John, I led off our game day with, ever since Vegas joined the league, it was always exciting to play UNLV because you always knew you were playing. They're the 6th winningest team in college basketball. They have the longest streak of making threes of any team in college basketball in a game, and they extended that streak in this game. They and Princeton are the only teams that have made a three in every single game since the rule got changed.
Wow.
For making threes.
And I would have never guessed Princeton.
And here's a trivia question for you. They were the national champions in 1990.
Right.
Who's the other team in the Mountain West that has won a national NCAA basketball championship?
Wyoming.
That's right, 1942.
Glad you didn't ask me the year. I wouldn't have got that.
And we lost our first 25 games in the UNLV-Utah State Series, 4 of them by overtime. One was triple overtime, and one of the most memorable games Aggie fans, all of us that go back, will ever remember. But now, Utah State lately has won 7 of the last 8 against UNLV. I think it's 4 in a row overall, and it's 3 because we lost 1 and then won 2 against them last year. Remember, we lost the first game, and then and now we've won 5 straight at home against UNLV with this win today.
Well,
90-75.
It's going to be a special series because as long as Lon Kruger's there, I think that's the thing that's held UNLV back in the last several years, just not having good coaches.
Well, Lon Kruger was there, and they were on a Sweet 16 team. Then he went to Oklahoma.
Right.
And since then, they've kind of gone through a few people. Chris Beard was going to be there and never coached a game because Texas Tech came calling. Yeah. And now his alma mater came calling and all that. But again, bringing Kevin Kruger back, who was a part of the last 2 years with Otzelberger, has kind of kept a little continuity, but he got his dad's influence to get these Big 12 players in there. And they've got some guys. And this younger kid, Gilbert, made a couple of shots. He's supposed to be freshman of the year. He hadn't manned out yet this year, but he'll still be good.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got the ability, he's got the chops to get them going. And, it's I don't think it's hard to recruit to Vegas.
No.
It's exciting. The downside are the distractions, but I think he'll be able to get him around. But this was a good win, and again, you appreciate good players, and watching Hamilton, he's a guy that's going to play at the next level. He's got everything.
Because he can make his shots, he can elevate, he got an outside game besides to take the ball to the basket.
And there were a couple of times, you sit there and you go, wow, great defense by Ashworth and the rest of the guys. He scored 33. There was great defense. There were shots, threes that he hit where there was a hand in the face at the end of the shot clock. What are you going to do?
Let's get rid
players
of
make
let's
players.
get rid of the kicking of the legs where the guy goes down. Though we got, they can't get. They're supposed to not be able to get away with that anymore, and they still are. And Hamilton uses the arm bar, and as soon as Ryland Jones just reaches his hand in, he gets called a foul, and he's getting arm barred in his backside the whole dang time, covering him. All right, Sean Bairstow was great at key times in this game with big baskets, and he also was in the spectrum after the game with the media.
It was really exciting to put on a performance like that in front of such a good atmosphere. Those type of atmosphere is just super fun to play in front of, and credit to the herd and everyone who came out. Really appreciate it.
Questions?
There's some times during that run where you guys made that 16-0 run, you just isolated, backed in. You just feel like you had to be physical with them, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a big guard. Have that mismatch a lot, so if they're not sending that double team, I feel comfortable scoring or drawing and making the right play after that. So
I honestly keep thinking they're going to double team you when you hit that little short fade and those kinds of plays. You've proven you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just because the teammates around you are so good from the perimeter, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something I had in my game for a long time, and now it's just really starting to come to light. And the fact that we got 4s and 5s who can really space the floor just opens up the paint so much. There's even times where I'm chilling on the dunker spot on the baseline, Bean and Brandon are out, so like we're just really versatile team, and having Bean and Brandon that can shoot the ball just really opens it up for me, I'd say.
And you guys proved that at the end of the half.
Yeah.
When you hit that shot, you're usually not going through your 6'11" guy out there in the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
That...
I mean, when those two are hitting, I mean, Bean was unbelievable tonight. I mean, he hit 5 threes, and that's just a backbreaker for someone who will kill you down low as well. And then Brandon's Brandon. He's a baller. Yeah, he played awesome as well.
You know, what Jeff asked Justin, this stretch at home,
Mm-hmm.
everybody expects you to win, but you still have to go out there and do it. What
Sure.
does it feel like now that you've accomplished that? And now you've got a stretch where you got 3 of the next 4 on the road against really good teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun playing at home. Obviously, great atmosphere, but really excited to get on the road as well. Those are always fun in front of a packed, hostile environment. So I'm excited to get on the road as well.
And right there, Sean Bairstow had 14 points on 6 of 8 shooting in this game for the Aggies. He also did get 4 rebounds in his 31 minutes of playing time. And he's not in the assist column. Shulga's not in the assist column tonight. We got Shulga in there the other night, John. But other than that, and Dorius, really nobody else in the assist column for the Aggies. But Ashworth, 7. Jones, 4. Bean, 3. Horvath, 5 again. Idle Rock had 3 in his limited playing time that he had in the game. So, again, the passing of this team has been the deal. They get the offense moving. It has opened up the three-point shot. They haven't settled. They all of a sudden settled for a couple of those ones there, as you were talking about right at the start of the second half, when they build a nice lead to start the second half, let them kind of come back in the game. So that's the way you got to play.
Well, go back to the assists. I mean, the even bigger number is only 7 turnovers. It seems, well, every team struggles when they turn the ball over.
They were 4 or 5 the other night.
Yeah,
I think was the lowest we've had. 5 turnovers against San Jose was the best we've had since against Nevada in 2018 in a game. So then now we back that up with just 7 against this. Again, you're going to have to play solid with the basketball. Also, when you're doing this kind of stuff against Wyoming, against San Diego State, and against Boise.
One of the
teams.
things towards the end of the game you and I were talking about is how well Horvath and Bean have come together. And my son Noah and I love to watch soccer. And what's great about the top teams is they can pass the ball in very tight areas. You're seeing that now. Some of the passes that we've seen in the last couple of games,
unbelievable,
by the Aggie big men have been phenomenal. And that's where you're seeing. That's where a lot of your turnovers come from. Is thinking you can make the pass. They're executing. They're taking care of business. And I would be hard pressed to find 2 better big men in the country that pass as well as Horvath and Bean.
I bet not. So Aggies 15-9, 6-5, 8-4 in their home record, 6-5 conference record. And Coach Odom after the game in the Spectrum, brought to you by the experts that reduce your DIY stress. We're talking about Castelite for all of your needs. That's where the pros go, and you can too. Castelite is online at castelite.com. And again, we appreciate Jake Ellis and the recording of the media session with Ryan Odom.
Yeah, I mean, I think first off, big time environment. That was fun to coach in. I know it was fun for the players, to play in that type of environment. We appreciate, our fans coming out and being so into the game. Midway through that second half, it was extremely loud and just what you want the Spectrum to be. And I thought they impacted the game. Their interest and enthusiasm within the game fueled our players, without a doubt. And so we want to continue. We thank them for that. I think UNLV is an excellent team. We knew we were going to be in for a big challenge tonight, facing one of the best players and one of the better teams certainly in our league. There's so many good teams in our league. Every night, it seems like you're facing a guy that's averaging 20 a game and 20 plus, and capable of going to 40 like he has. Hamilton's a special talent, special player. And I thought, ironically, he gets 33, but I thought our guys did a nice job on him. I think certainly midway through that half, we made him work on defense, which was, a big part of our plan, was to make him work a little bit more down there just by moving him around. And then, I thought defensively as we got him inside of the line, the three-point line, we had some timely help. We had Brandon step over. I'm talking about that one run, where we were going offensively, but we were getting stops, more importantly, defensively. And that's how we were able to get, a sustained lead or a comfortable lead to kind of finish the game out. And I think the defense was key there. And offensively, the passing was tremendous. Our guys, anybody that was in the game, was looking for one another. And, I was just telling Scotty G down there, it's comforting as a coach to, coach a team where rarely do I ever say, man, that was a bad shot. And that's a tribute to them and their willingness and ability to search for a great shot every possession. And the occasional bad shot does happen, and it's such an outlier. And just really impressed with the passing, really impressed with the shot making. Certainly Bean was incredible tonight, but he wasn't the only one. Brandon was big time. Steven's defense on Hamilton, we ended up switching him on him, and he guarded him, fairly well or really well. Made him work, and then he had 7 assists and 1 turnover, and a really, really good game for him. Rylan, coming off the bench and being okay with that, and really coming in and giving us a spark, has been awesome as well. So, all in all, great win. Obviously, we know what's on the other side of this. Is a really tough environment, but an even tougher team, that we've got to play in Wyoming, who's playing great basketball right now. So. Will be exciting. I laugh with the guys because, they've been really good at one-day preps. Let's see what they can do with 2. And they were like, oh yeah, 2 days. So anyway, any questions?
Coach, obviously that 16-0 run in the second half changed things when athletes let them get back within 1. And
yeah.
It seemed like that was a little time when maybe they had kind of a quick trigger on the threes, and then you guys went back to the passing and got a lot of great stuff down low, including from your guards. Yeah,
I mean, we missed some threes, right, during that stretch. And, I think all of those shots at that point were threes, and that's fine. That felt like the majority of them were open shots and were good ones for us. But you're not going to shut a team out like that and shut a guy out like Hamilton. And I thought they did a really nice job when we get the lead, right out of halftime, which was really important for us. And, they had just gone on a run to finish half, right? Like we were barely up 2. We had to make a shot to go up 2, at the half. So it wasn't a great ending for us. So it was imperative that we came out of halftime. That was a huge key to the game, and we weren't going to win it right there, but we could have lost it, right there had they continued on and gained more confidence. And so I felt like that was a key play, or key stretch for us. And then they call timeout, and they realize Steven's on them, and they begin to try to go into the post a little bit to Hamilton, and that paid some dividends for them. And then they made some timely threes where we didn't get back out to them, and they closed the gap again. And then our guys answered, that one. And we always talk about that. Champions always answer. And basketball is a game of runs, like most sports. It can be a back and forth, and whoever can kind of get a hold of it on defense usually is the team that wins. And I thought our guys did that, within this game. And it allowed us, we controlled the glass and forced some misses, and then it allowed us to get out and get quickly into our actions, which was really helpful for us. And so now we're getting a stop and then a score back-to-back was how we were able to increase the lead.
Coach, the thing that stood out to me was the pace that you played.
Yeah.
You're constantly just moving the ball up as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
that's really been the key the last 5 games. Is that something you're focusing on, and how is that kind of?
Yeah, the transition offense has gotten much better, over the course of the season, and it took a little bit of a hit there for a little bit. Some of that was due to we weren't playing as many guys, and we had some injuries there, and the bench has really stepped up. I can remember sitting here early in the season and talking about, okay, well, you're playing 6 guys or whatever, and like, what do you think about the bench? And it's like we're trying to develop it, and there's certainly guys that could play, like Trevin can play in that game. You've seen Z make some really big time plays for us at times, and so there are other guys, that really strengthen our roster and strengthen our ability to play a little bit faster. And certainly that's been a focus. It's always been a focus for us. I mean, that's how I like to coach. I want them to play free and open in the open court. But, while being mindful of, okay, let's get them in a scramble as quickly as we can.
And again, the scramble was on for UNLV when the Aggies went 16-0. The Aggies had a 12-5 run in the first half. Vegas did have a 7-0 run. I think that's their longest run in the game.
Yeah.
So the Aggies got the run, so they were able to put those stops together a little bit more. And even when Vegas did bring Hamilton back and they started posting up in that point, we were at least still scoring most of the times on those. There were not many empty possessions by us, even when they were maybe getting a 3 or getting back in a little bit into the game there.
Well, great point in not having those huge runs. Coach would be happy with 7-0, but you've got to avoid those 10, 12, 14-0 runs. And the Aggies, that's when they've been successful this year. They've been able to avoid those. Years past, you look at a game, they play well, and then you'd say, well, there was that 4 or 5 minute stretch and they got outscored 12-0. You avoid those, generally you're gonna do well. A couple of comments I just wanted made on what Coach had to say.
Okay.
I wonder what goes through his mind. I mean, he's surely played in big arenas in good venues, but not being his home court.
No, he'd never had this. And again, he loved it. And again, eventually it did kind of fill in and get going. Okay, it took him a little while to get there for an afternoon game.
I think a lot
they
of
were a little more right
forgot.
on the borderline of 4 o'clock rather than being able to get in there before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, well, when it's
Saturday
12
afternoon.
degrees outside, you want to get in as quick as you can. But no, they filled in well. But he's not joking. This is not just lip service. The crowd, the team feeds off of it. I don't think I've seen this much.
You know what? I think, to be honest, it feeds our team more than it hurts the opponent.
Without a doubt.
Because I think the opponent sometimes relishes a little of that going on. And, everyone, maybe the air ball gets to some of the guys a little bit and all that stuff. But I think it just boosts us up even more.
I agree, and I don't think I've seen more times prior to this year where the players have turned to the fans and raised their arms and said, "Come on, guys, let's get going." I mean, you see it several times every game. It's Ashworth, it's Horvath, it's Bean. Everybody's getting the crowd into it, but it's not lip service. People get out there, be loud. They need it. The other thing, though, is I wanted to emphasize, he talks about ball movement, but I think I saw every player bring the ball up at least once tonight, except for Trevin Dorius. And if you gave it to Trevin, I bet he would do it too.
He'd love to have it.
How nice is that to be able to have any of your guys be able to bring the ball up?
Horvath is a point guard growing up, so that's what he loves to do. Aggies score the most they've scored in a conference game, tied with New Mexico, the overtime game at 90. The 75 they gave up, only Colorado State's 77 is more than that today. But again, the Aggies were still on top of it with their best offensive game of the year to win this game today, 90-75. So the coach there post-game and all. Let's move to one final segment and give you one last chance to call in, 753-KVNU, or text us at 339-0321 as the Aggies win their 5th in a row and go to 6-5 in conference play. Daryl's Appliance, your one-stop appliance shop. Experienced salespeople, the great names, replacement parts are there, in-house warranty department, great repairs. Daryl's Appliance, one of our sponsors of game day, as the Aggies win and go past UNLV to the 6th spot in the conference now.
The new year isn't the only thing we're celebrating here at Alpine Home Medical. This year marks our 25th anniversary, and we couldn't be happier to serve you. Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. If you haven't shopped with us, we'd love for you to make us your one-stop shop for any of your home medical needs. They're always changing, so please don't hesitate to stop by any of our 10 locations throughout Utah and southern Idaho.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Or online at alpinehomemedical.com.
A romantic setting, delicious cuisines, mouth-watering desserts, and your favorite dinner date. Celebrate with your Valentine at Elements Restaurant. Along with Elements' delightful regular menu, they're offering Valentine's specials for two that include mouth-watering steak, seafood, or chicken entrees, complete with red velvet cake, chocolate mousse, and chocolate-covered strawberries. Reservations are available Friday, February 11th, Saturday the 12th, or Monday the 14th. Make this Valentine's Day extraordinary. Reserve at theelementsrestaurant.com or call 750-5171. 750-5171.
What do Valentine's Day and Jarek's have in common? They're both all about the romance. Jarek's Fine Jewelry has a great selection of men's and women's watches, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and yes, engagement rings. Don't sweat it out worrying about where to get the perfect gift. Just come to Jarek's. Through Valentine's with any purchase, receive a forever metal rose, handcrafted by Metal Petals. Valentine's Day and Jarek's, they're both all about the romance.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
Advanced Heating and AC, the gold medal winner in the Best of Northern Utah, is teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you with the best furnace units available. And now is the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and AC and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 752-7272. Stop by at their showroom west of DI. Online, advancedheating-ac.com.
It's KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis and John Russell.
And welcome back to our coverage, postgame, pregame, always here when Aggies play. And we appreciate you always joining with us. We've had we had calls from James tonight. We hope more callers, but again, it's always nice to hear from at least James. And like I said, he's kind of our fourth member of our broadcast team, the way he's joined with us, giving him a hard time. But again, all of you can be the same, 753-5868, but you do have something in the text line.
I do.
Us.
Before I get to that, if we do a quick score update, you had mentioned earlier Boise did beat San Jose 76-60.
It was about that margin at half, and the second half was about even.
Yeah. So Boise, doing what they need to.
Got back to a win after their hard loss to Wyoming.
Yeah. Right now, Utah, after breaking their long losing streak, they're hosting Oregon. About 11.5 left in the first. They're down 18-16. Utah seems to do that. They play well in the first half, but then they just kind of struggle in the
If they beat Oregon, to be honest, both Oregon and Stanford are kind of on the border of getting in the tournament. The Pac-12 only might get 2, and maybe the West Coast and us might get 4 or 5. Who knows?
Which would be fun. Speaking of the West Coast Conference, BYU struggling right now. They've lost 3 in a row, I believe.
I think it's 3. I said 4 the other day, but I think it's 3. But they've got 5 conference losses, and they play Gonzaga tonight.
8 o'clock tonight. You know what's interesting? We haven't really talked about them. 2 of the hottest teams in the state, Weber State right now, they've won 8 in a row. They
beat Montana the other night to keep at the top of the conference.
And they're playing Montana State tonight. I'll get you a quick score on that. But the other team, Southern Utah, they're 5-1 in their last 6.
But they did lose. They did lose to Weber State.
To Weber, yeah. So, but that's
John Knight III playing for them and playing about 15 points a game,
playing really well. So, things are going well for them right now. Montana State's up on Weber, 37-29 in Ogden. But
how much time left in that?
It's at half. Oh, so they got another 20.
They got a ways to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit tight with Southern Utah, and I think it's Southern Utah, and maybe Montana or Eastern Washington.
No, it's Montana State. So
that's in the league.
That's a big game for them. A couple of comments here on the text line. We always appreciate folks dialing in or texting in. This one from 4177. Spectrum crowd today was as good as it's been since the mid-2000s. I would agree with that.
Okay.
They were good. The herd
you were
was
there,
great.
so you'd know it. You've been there.
They were good. Again, from 4177, people need to support this team. It's an everyman outfit, no superstars. Cache Valley all the way. I love that. From 7994, Ashworth was incredible tonight. Great defense combined with adjusting his game to go inside more. Great win. And again, how many times do you see a guy has a great game defensively, but then he'll only put up 3 or 4 shots? Ashworth was all over it, 7 assists. Super game for him. This one from 2070. I had written off this team due to lack of shooting. I'm amazed what they've been able to do in the last 5 games.
And the coach always said we can shoot the ball, so he wasn't worried when it was 1 for 19 or 19% in conference play before they turned around. Another 10 made threes in this game today. And that always is automatically, if we make 10 threes, we win the game.
Yeah, he might not have worried. I was. And in the second half, they did get a little happy there for a second. But as we heard, they kind of reeled things in. So well done on that in that respect. And this is from 6543. Is there a website that gives each team's strength of schedule? What is our strength of schedule? So I pulled up real-time RPI.
Okay.
That's one of the sources. Utah State is ranked 68th
in schedule.
In RPI. Ranked 27th in strength of schedule.
Because we played a good
We
schedule.
played some
And
good
again, in
teams.
this league, you're playing good teams
Yes,
all the
indeed.
time, too. Gio wants to join with us on Aggie Golf. First off, let me mention KVNU Logan. We're at the top of the hour. Aggies win 90-75. Gio, what's up?
Hey, guys, you were just talking about the conference. How great is it to be on the home stretch for the season, and we still have 3 cute quad 1 opportunities? In previous years in the Big West and the WAC, we probably only had 1 or 2 maybe in the entire season. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, it's really something to see how good this league is, how it went out and had a good preseason, played some teams, beat some teams with names, including the Aggies. And it really is huge. That's the reason why Utah State was one of the highest teams in the net rankings with 9 defeats, I think, in all of college basketball so far.
Yeah, it's just nice to see that it's changed so much. It's not the end of the world. We're even now with 9 defeats, I think we still have a good chance to play our way onto the bubble.
Well, we were the guy Lenardi on ESPN. We were in his next to last out. We were still being put on there when we had 9 losses and hadn't won these 3 games this week. So that's not too bad.
Great. Also, I know we've talked about it, but boy, I really enjoyed seeing Steve Ashworth, just the way that he was harassing Hamilton, and just a really talented player. How many inches does Ashworth give up to Hamilton?
They list Hamilton at 6'4", so that's 3 supposedly.
He looks bigger than that.
It looks like, and maybe Ashworth is really closer to 6, and maybe some teams want to have Hamilton at 6'4", and he's really 6'5". I don't know how. Some teams inflate him, and other teams take him back. It's weird.
But Gio, it wasn't just height. I mean, Hamilton is a solid dude.
And he can leap.
He's a big guy,
and he's got hops too. So
well, and I really enjoyed. Just his floor game, the way that he's played in this stretch.
Oh, it's been something.
The defense has been awesome, but I think he's gonna end his career as a multiple time all conference guard.
I think you're probably right. The way he's going right now, 14 again today with the 7 assists. Good stuff. Gio, our time's running out here against the back clock, but we appreciate you calling. Okay.
All right. Hey, thanks, guys.
Make sure you do call in more often. Got just a couple minutes left here before we have to get to something on the clock here, so we got to move through the Cache Valley Bank final stats. We mentioned Bean at 32. He had 11 of 15 shots, 5 of 7, had 10 boards. Horvath was 5 of 8 with his 17. Did go 5 of 8 at the foul line, too, and had 9 rebounds and 5 assists. And then we mentioned Ashworth. And then Bairstow, 6 of 8 shooting with 14. Idlerock was 2 of 4 for his 7, made 1 3. He had 3 assists, 2 rebounds. And then Shulga missed his shots from the field, but 2 free throws for 2. Jones had 1 for 2 from the field, 4 assists for Ryland in the game. And then Dorius had the 2 minutes. And then, of course, the bench guys came in there right at the end. Hamilton, 33. McCabe had 13. Webster had 10. They hit 48%. And the Aggies, again, hit 64% a season high. And, again, we mentioned Justin Bean has moved to number 19 all-time in scoring with the big run he had here tonight to get past, again, his all-time guy, and Spencer Nelson, who made sure he came to Utah State. I think that's great. And then he also, of course, passed by also Shaler Halliman, and we mentioned Mike Santos in this game. So, John, we'll see you then Tuesday night.
Yeah, like Coach said, we got a long time.
It's on the Mountain West Network right now, and not listed on one of the national networks. So, Mountain West Network streaming online from Laramie, 7 o'clock start on Tuesday night. We'll be here at 6 with Jalen Moore, and then we, of course, will be on after the game with your calls, your texts. So, more people call, please. And you can also text in on the text line number. Thanks to all the sponsors. We appreciate it very much. That's it for our game night coverage of the Aggies here on KVNU on this Saturday night. It's a good one.